Only 2 weeks to go until Volume 2 of Stranger Things Season 5, and now it's official, Volume 2 is fully done. What's going on, guys? I'm Chris, and welcome back to another video. Today we're talking about how Stranger Things Season 5 Volume 2 is finished. It's fully done, as announced by Ross Duffer on Instagram. This means it's ready to watch, so why not go ahead and drop it now, you know what I'm saying? Before I get into this, hit that like button, comment down below your predictions for Volume 2, from the run times to what we're going to see go down, and of course, subscribe and hit that notification bell to help reach my goal of 150,000 subscribers here on the channel. It means quite a bit. And if you guys want some film stocked merch this holiday season, you can get yours linked down below. It's via Firefly Shop. She absolutely crushed it with the design. Be sure to get yours while you still can this holiday season. And of course, extra content from the world of Stranger Things and beyond is available over on my Patreon. But when it comes down to it, Ross Duffer has blessed us with yet another Instagram post, and this time it's about Volume 2 being done. Anytime he posts, I gotta have a little breakdown, as I've always done, so you guys know the drill. He posted 3 videos, with each of those being the opening title cards for episode 5, 6, and 7. But the caption associated with this post is filled with lots of insight into every single episode and what we can sort of expect. Starting with episode 5, Shock Jock, he says it picks up moments after the end of episode 4, Sorcerer, and that checks out, especially if you take into consideration one of these new look images from Volume 2 in a recent magazine drop that shows Mike, Will, and Joyce all standing in the aftermath of the Demogorgon attack at the Max Z. It seems like Vecna might be turning back around and coming through that gate to raise some more hell, or maybe take over Will. There's really no telling what we're about to see here. It kind of reminds me of that Home Alone quote, "You give up or you're thirsty for more."
You guys give up or you're thirsty for more?
On top of that, Ross Duffer confirms Frank Darabont is back to direct episode 5, and this time he gets to flex some different muscles. He says this episode is far darker and far scarier than the Turnbow Trap, so I immediately thought, what is this episode going to tackle that's scarier and darker? On the one hand, they could certainly sort of explore some of Henry's traumatic past, maybe his relationship with the Mind Flayer, and get into some more of the lore, or they could go in on this idea of the kids being taken and perhaps some of them biting the dust, get into some of that darker territory thematically, as things can get pretty intense as more of these kids are put on these spires. But I'm leaning we're going to get into some of Henry's past demons here, and that can get pretty scary, obviously. Maybe this could be in reference to Will Byers being mentally toyed with by Vecna, and just like how Will is able to tap into the hive mind to use Vecna's powers, perhaps Vecna can tap into the hive mind and mess with Will mentally. I mean, this show's gone scary before. It's learned to embrace the horror side of things, especially in season 4 with all the Vecna kills. I mean, at the end of episode 1 when Chrissy dies, that was horrific. And then you get into all the other deaths throughout that season. On top of that, the Victor Creel lore with him at Penhurst is straight up Silence of the Lambs. Like, they can go dark and scary in this show, so it sounds like we might be tapping into that a little bit out the gate in the episode Shock Jock. Ross Duffer goes on to talk about episode 6, Escape from Camazotz, by saying that Sean Levy is back to direct. We've known this for a while now, but it's just an automatic win considering the man has directed some of the best episodes of the show, including Dear Billy, The Sauna Test, Holly Jolly, the list goes on and on. But Ross describes this episode as the biggest of Volume 2, and he says that the performances make them cry every time they watch it. To me, this pretty much says Escape from Camazotz is going to feature a wild sequence where Max and Holly are escaping Henry's mind prison, aka Camazotz, while simultaneously on the right side up, Lucas is running through the hospital with Max's body in a coma, and ultimately we're going to get to see a sad, emotional scene, but it's a reunion moment between Lucas and Max that's going to break all of our hearts. I mean, if you watch the freaking second episode of this show, watch my reaction, I'm unwell when Lucas is crying over Max in episode 2. When they actually reunite, and whatever sweet callback line of dialogue is said, it's gonna destroy me. It's gonna absolutely wreck me, and so I'm not prepared for that. I will have the tissues on standby when I'm watching, though. But something that screams big to me is the explosion in the sky overhead of Hawkins' lab that we've seen in the Upside Down. Perhaps that is featured in this episode. And when I'm thinking performances that make the Duffers cry, obviously a Lumax reunion comes to mind first, but it could also involve potentially a Steve and Dustin scene of the two of them making amends and having like a brotherhood heart-to-heart moment in Hawkins' lab. It could also be referring to Jonathan and Nancy having a sweet moment where they find that spark again and they have a sweet couple moment. Potentially it could even involve an engagement, a proposal. Might be a little out of hand and not the proper time to do that, but you never know. There's a ring involved now. But overall, the name alone, Escape from Camazotz, that sells. That excites me, and it has potential to be one of the best episodes of the entire show, in my opinion. But the final episode of Volume 2, Episode 7, The Bridge, has been teased to be potentially traumatizing. It's the penultimate episode of the show as we know it, right? The second to last episode of the show ever. And Ross Duffer reaffirmed that the episode is going to be co-directed by both the Duffer brothers and Sean Levy. This is a first for the series. And then he goes on to state that he doesn't want to say too much, but aside from the finale, it's probably the most emotional chapter of the season. What happens in this episode that's so emotional? I need to know. And I hate to immediately jump to this conclusion, but sadly it does make me think he's probably referring to a character death here, right? God knows who, but the stakes are going to be pretty damn high if you're setting up the finale in this episode. This is the last episode before the final episode of the show. It's emotional inherently. I mean, the emotions are going to be high, the stakes are going to be high, but to throw in a character death, it's sick and twisted. Just imagine someone going down in the back half of this episode and that lingering, sort of looming over everyone's heads coming into the finale. It could catch us all off guard and wreck us, and on top of that, it would piss everyone off. The characters themselves I'm talking about, right? They lose someone near and dear to them, that's going to piss them off, and so they're going to want to go to war in the finale and put an end to Vecna, the Upside Down, once and for all. But Ross Duffer ends the caption by saying it's going to be a long 6-day wait for the finale, which to me, of course, heavily implies that we're in for potentially the biggest cliffhanger in the show. To date, the biggest cliffhanger, in my opinion, this show's had is definitely the massacre at Hawkins' lab, where that episode is the 7th of season 4, and then we had to wait from, I believe, May 27th to July 1st of 2022, so a little over a month. And the cliffhanger, of course, is that Henry Creel is Vecna in one. They're all the same person. It was like a holy crap, just changed the way you view the show type of moment, you know, one of those, wow, we just dropped that bomb, now you guys have fun for a month and a half. Well, I can't even imagine what's in store if this wait could be worse. The only silver lining here is that we only have to wait 6 days between Volume 2 and the finale, whereas with Season 4, we had to wait, again, over a month to see the next 2 episodes, the final 2 episodes of that season. What if it's a double whammy, and the cliffhanger's like the end of Season 4, Ep 6, The Dive, when it seemed like Steve was toast at the hand of Demobats, but this time around, the character in peril at the end of an episode actually dies to end the episode. Like, we end the episode with a character dead in someone's arms. I'll say it, I would be stunned. It would be truly gutsy, but the Duffers have embraced being gutsy this season with the return of Kali and fully giving Will the ability to channel Vecna's powers via the hive mind. So they've done some gutsy things. They're taking big swings. You know what would add to that? Killing one of your main characters going into the finale and then killing another one in the finale itself. All I know is that reading through this Instagram post by Ross Duffer has me more amped than I already was. We're 2 weeks away. 14 days from right now, we'll be gearing up to watch the next 3 episodes of Season 5, and the time has flown by. I know that the month wait sucks, but we're already halfway there. With only 2 weeks to go until Volume 2, the time will certainly fly by, especially with the holiday season being in full force. I feel like time almost becomes this wormhole where it's like not even real, you know? Now, at the very end of the caption, he also lets us know that the runtimes are coming soon-ish, and if you didn't know by now, the ones posted on IMDb for episodes 5, 6, and 7 are fake. Pay them no attention. The finale runtime, being 2 hours and 5 minutes, is pretty much confirmed by Netflix on their To Doom website, along with theaters, as the finale is going to be playing in limited theaters, and that's the posted runtime, 2 hours and 5 minutes. But for Eps 5, 6, and 7, we don't know how long they actually are. I put out a predictions video in short form. You guys can check that out on the channel if you want to know my predictions, but I'm not expecting any of those episodes to be over an hour and a half. But that does it for this quick update video. Ross Duffer blessed us with more news on Volume 2. It's fully done and ready to go. That means that people are watching it right now at Netflix, and I'm jealous of them, but we only have to wait 2 more weeks to see what goes down. But let me know in the comments down below what you make of this Ross Duffer caption. What do you think the cliffhanger at the end of Episode 7, The Bridge, is going to be? Let me know that and more down below, and of course, hit that like button, subscribe into that notification bell, and be on the lookout for more videos coming very soon. Get you some film-stocked Firefly merch linked down below this holiday season. That's going to do it, though. Appreciate you guys, as always. Lots of Stranger Things videos and other videos coming soon, so stay tuned for that. And until next time, I'll see you on the other side of the Upside Down.